You're watching and listening Stuck in the Middle podcast. This is a platform for entrepreneurs, innovators, and movers and shakers, creatives of African descent, where you hear stories, ideas, and experiences on how we can break the mold. This particular episode is brought to you by our online store. So visit sitmpodcast.com, shop Stuck in the Middle podcast gear. We appreciate that. That's how we're able to drive this machine. And also want to remind you, we are sponsored by Perfect Office Solution to provide office space for entrepreneurs in the DMV area in over 7 locations. So hit them up, let them know we sent you. You get 10% off your leads if you use promo code SITM podcast. That's Perfect Office Solution if you want to save space, if you want to save money on some perfect office space. I got a special guest in the building, but definitely want to remind you, if you are on social media, we are on all social media platforms. SITM podcast is our handle. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit the ringer so you get updates on every time we drop new material, and also do screenshots, send links to your group chats and all that. So help us grow. We appreciate that. Got a special guest in the building. She is not a stranger to the podcast. We have an episode with her dating back, I want to say, over a year now.
Yeah, about a year.
Dang,
yes.
Welcome back. You wearing a new hat. She is a medical doctor. Like I said, not a stranger to the podcast. She's been here before. She is here to discuss her new practice, Loudoun Medical Spa. We got Dr. Degha Fongod in the building. Welcome,
Hey, it's good to be back. I know it's been a year.
It's been over a year.
Things have changed since the last time I was here.
A lot has changed. What has changed?
Well, I still have a baby, but she's not here this time. Last time she made an appearance on the podcast.
Yeah, she was cute.
That?
She was adorable.
Yeah.
She was adorable.
But my focus changed a little bit since the last time I was here in terms of what I've been doing, practicing medicine, the type of medicine I'm practicing. It's been an interesting shift, but I'm excited to talk about that.
Why? It's like a lot of times doctors go into school, and we talked about this last time you were here. You spent 7 years to go to school. And then now you just like pivot, switch. What the heck happened?
Part of it, I feel like maybe because I'm a millennial, and the idea or the way that other older doctors have practiced medicine has changed us. We're a newer generation, and we're looking for different things. We're looking for more flexibility.
Yeah.
We're looking for medical options that let us do the things that we love to do. Let us, we can travel, things like that. So that led me down the entrepreneurial path, and hence why I'm here.
Last time, because last time we spoke, you were practicing different, kind of medicine, which is primary care, so to speak.
Yes.
Where, you're cutting off insurance,
yes,
and you're practicing your own medicine.
Exactly.
That was entrepreneurship.
That was, but I'm still doing that, but I'm also doing aesthetic medicine now, which is also the same thing in terms of not working with insurance, cash based, but the focus is a little bit different. And I'm finding that because I see patients on a cosmetic side, I can also take care of them on a medical side. So it ended up being a combination of the two, which is a good thing.
So wait, let me get it straight. The light primary care is not a gone thing.
No. It's still there. You're
wearing a new hat now. Concierge and cosmetic. How do you pronounce it? Loudoun?
It's Loudoun.
Loudoun,
So So for those who are in Northern Virginia. So it's Loudoun Laser and Medical Spa, and it focuses mainly on cosmetic dermatology. So it's skincare stuff. I don't do the medical dermatology, but I just do the cosmetic side. And when patients come and they trust you with their skin, and you're trying to help them achieve, whatever goals they have, once they create that trust, then they also trust you with their health, and they're going to be like, hey, you're a doctor. Can you help me with my medical issues? So I'm finding that I can combine both at this time. So I have both the cosmetic and the medical.
How are you doing it,
It's tough. It's a lot to handle. My main focus is, I try to figure out what do the patients need. So when people come in, usually they come in for, like I said, skincare concerns. But because I'm a doctor, I get access to their chart, and I could see all the different things that they're going through. And once we discuss that, then they feel more comfortable saying, hey, if we can do the skincare stuff, can we do the healthcare stuff? So I just find a way to combine the two.
I want to, pause right there. And for those who are otherwise unfamiliar with who you are, because we've taken a deep dive, and you know, those who haven't watched our previous episode with you, who is Dr. Degha Fongod, for those who don't know?
So Dr. Fongod I am an internal medicine physician who decided to branch out from typical traditional medicine. And initially when I was here, we talked about the direct primary care that I was doing, where I was seeing patients outside of the insurance model. And my objective with that was to give my patients more time so we could, you know, dive deep into their medical issues. And I don't have that constraint that some doctors have, where they're, you know, on a time crunch and they can't do all the things that they want to do for their patients. So that, you know, I wanted to practice medicine that made me feel good. And so that's what led me to that path. And that also then segued into aesthetic medicine, which, you know, also makes me feel good and also makes my patients feel good.
What else gonna make you feel good that you're gonna
I know, right? I just love to do things that make me feel good.
But it's all in the medical field, though, you know.
Yes.
And last time we were here, we mentioned, you know, Stuck in the Middle podcast being this platform where, you know, where we're from is you either be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, doctor first, or you're a disgrace to the family. But here you are doing what you love and helping people, you know, become happy in a sense, especially with cosmetics.
Yes. I mean, and I will say this, initially, and this is something that most people don't know about me, but once I actually finished residency, I felt lost because I didn't find there wasn't a good space for what I wanted to do. So I kind of had to reinvent myself and try to find, okay, within medicine, what can I do that will make me happy so I don't completely, you know, feel like I wasted 7 years of my life, right? So that's not the traditional route. You know, most people think, hey, you're going to become a doctor, you're going to get a job, work at a hospital, and that gives you that stability. But I decided to do the entrepreneur route, which is not stable, but is fulfilling.
That's key. Where'd you go to school?
So I went to Ross University for medical school, and then I did my internal medicine training in Connecticut at Waterbury, which St. Mary's Hospital, which is part of the Yale system. And that was really, really important, and really, it was very, very eye-opening, you know, having professors who are from like Yale and working with Yale students. And it was just very, 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 very tough environment, but very, very rewarding for me.
When I hear medical school, it just scares me, the amount of years first to begin with, and the cost.
Oh, let's not talk about how much I owe in student loans.
You know what I mean? And
Yes.
you know, but you made it through, and you're having a ball doing what you do.
Yes.
And now, you know, you have a new practice, Loudoun Laser and Medical Spa. What is that? Is, you know, what specifically is Loudoun Laser Medical Spa?
So the name actually tells you what it does. So it has two hats. It has lasers. So lasers are devices that we use to help with skincare issues. We can use it for if you're having problems with your skin, like pigmentation. We have laser hair removal, which, you know, hair for us women especially can be a very difficult thing, and for men too. If you have a beard and you shave, sometimes you have
you know, so you got the bumps and
exactly
all that, yeah.
You get those bumps, and we take care of that. So the laser side of things is where we're using lasers to help with your skincare concerns, and then the medical side is where we're using medical medicine. So for example, I use Botox a lot for people who have concerns about wrinkles, or some people have hyperhidrosis, which is overactive sweat glands in their armpits, for example. So we help to control. Or we use it for migraines. So we're doing more medical things, and we also do skincare. We use chemical peels, we do microneedling, we do so many different things. So you come in, we assess your skin, and then we can then determine what tools do we have to offer to help you with your skincare needs. Yeah.
Where's the name Loudoun? You mentioned from the county where you located. So that's just, you just named.
Yeah, so I just named it based on the county. It's a very large county, and it encompasses so many different towns. So mainly for SEO purposes, when you put Loudoun, it helps you get larger population of people to see you, as opposed to if I just stuck with Ashburn, for example.
Entrepreneurially speaking, what's SEO for those who otherwise aren't familiar?
Search engine optimization.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. At least I know that.
I put you on the spot in a minute. Walk me through though the process of, I want to get deeper into this, because that's that stuck in the middle, right? You being like, man, I'm doing this and I have this other idea. Not only just being stuck in the middle of the continent, which is Africa and here, or having a business and having a 9-to-5, but you were like, man, I'm stuck between. I have this business that's flourishing from what we know from last time, and this other idea. Walk me through the process of in this. What were your fears? What did you do? Where did you start?
So it's actually interesting. When I was working on my Delight Primary Care practice, I was actually approached by someone who's a laser, who works for a laser company. And they were, I had no idea about this side of things, believe it or not. I knew a little bit about medical cosmetics, but I didn't think that I was going to start doing that like immediately. And so I had a laser rep come to me and explain to me what this was, and what the potential was, and the location, and everything just seemed like a perfect fit. And I was lucky enough that I was doing some research, and there was actually a business, the same business with the same name, that was going out of business. And so I took a risk and decided to purchase this business and start learning about the process, and just fell in love. Like, I started doing trainings on it, and it just seemed like the thing that I had been waiting to do, but I just didn't realize that I was waiting to do it.
Who owns Loudoun Laser Medical Spa?
I do. So yes, now I own that business.
Hey, now you bought it in.
Yes. So we're trying.
Yeah. Man, that's tough. How? What was it owned by somebody, or you built this from the ground up?
No, so well, basically I bought you technically don't buy the business, you buy like the certain areas of the business. So I bought like the space I had to rent, but I bought like the name, for example, because that name had already been there, and it had started to generate some revenue, and people knew about the area, but it was just not. It was not under a doctor, for example, and it didn't have most of the services that I'm currently offering. So I kind of bought the rights to the, access to the patients that were already coming in, the name, things like that. And I like the location. So I wanted to keep everything the same, but just put my own spin on it.
Yeah, you have employees under you.
Exactly.
How many?
So right now I have 2 employees plus me 3. So it's just a small team, but we're growing. Did
you have to go out and get certified and licensed in providing cosmetic care and the spa, because you were a doctor, providing primary care?
So I did have to go get certifications on every single thing. So everything that,
and training.
Yes, I had to get training on everything, because you cannot supervise people without understanding training and understanding risk and understanding how to manage complications that come from that. So yes, you do get training for it, but I didn't need to change my license. So I still have use the same medical license, but I needed to get
you better keep it too.
Yes.
It's like when they say plan C or plan, you just doctor, just collect it.
Yeah.
What services do you offer though in Loudoun Medical? I keep saying Loudoun Laser Medical Spa.
Yes. So we offer an array of services. So from the laser side, like I said, we offer laser hair removal. On the facial side, we do facials, so medical grade facials for people who have acne, for example. We do chemical peels, microneedling. We do dermaplaning, which is a very popular service at the moment. And then I also offer Botox, fillers, and we do some regenerative medicine with platelet-rich plasma, which is also called PRP. So
I'm of the understanding that all these services that you just listed aren't cheap.
No. Well, a facial is affordable.
Affordable. What kind of customers do you get? Who walks through your doors generally, and who are your target customers?
So typically, my customers are women. I do get some men who come in, but typically my customers are women. They're typically either moms or working women who, unfortunately, which is something us women do, we take care of everybody else and we don't take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
And so we get to a certain point where it's like, all right, we need to take care of ourselves. And so my target audience is basically women over 40 who can afford these services, who want to now take care of themselves. They've been taking care of their kids, they take care of their husband, they take care of everybody, and they've realized that it's important to have self-care and they need to do something for their skin or just do something for themselves.
Do men, come in and say, bring their wives, and things like that? You see stuff like that?
I actually find that women bring their husbands and not the other way around. So I will have women come in with their husbands and they'll be like, hey, my husband has this wrinkle here. Can we do Botox here? Or my husband never takes care of his skin. Can we do a facial for him? So I'm finding that women are bringing men in, but sometimes men do come in and, if they're concerned about, trying to look a little bit younger, there are tools that we have to help with that.
What is Botox?
So Botox is a neuromodulator. It's a medication. It's a toxin that helps to relax muscles. And what that does is that it helps to eliminate wrinkles. Now, nobody wants wrinkles.
It's generally, when you say Botox, it has a negative connotation to that.
I don't know why. Maybe because in the past, people had this, some people have an issue with the fact that people are trying to prevent aging. It's all about anti-aging. And some people think, you should age gracefully. You should accept your wrinkles.
Yeah.
But I think it's to each his own. If you feel comfortable with your wrinkles, then that's okay. But if you don't, then there's something you can do about it. So I'm finding that more and more people are more they've accepted Botox as an option. I have patients who are in their 20s who are getting Botox because they're trying to prevent themselves from getting wrinkles in the future.
Is this something you do recurrently, or is it one-time thing?
Yeah, so you have to do it recurrently. Typically, it lasts about 3 to 4 months, sometimes 6 months in some patients. So you have to come constantly to kind of keep up with, the treatments.
What are lip fillers then? Is it just, when I hear lip filler, I just think Kardashians.
Exactly. Kylie Jenner has made it
popularized. She's putting money in your pockets.
I mean, she's a billionaire right now. So lip fillers it depends on who's getting it. So for the younger patients, they want lip fillers because of that Kylie or that Kardashian effect, right? Where let's say if you have a little bit smaller lips, they want more plump lips so that they can, their lipstick can look better. But traditionally, as you get older, you lose volume in different parts of your body in your face. And so for the older patients, it's just they find that their lips are getting smaller and smaller as they get older. So we can do lip fillers to kind of help maintain that without making them look, plastic or fake. Yeah.
You're smart. I'll tell you that. You're smart. You pretty much said, look, the way society is going right now, everybody just want to, just look a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm gonna do, and provide these services and secure the bag.
But it's more than that, okay? It's so important for people to understand that cosmetics is not all about looks. It has a lot to do with self-confidence. I have people come in who, if they have like an acne breakout, then it just messes with their mood. They're not confident enough. They don't do as well at work. So when you take care of people and you help them look and feel great, that translates into so many different things. They work better, they're more efficient, they're more confident, and imagine what you can do when you're in that state of mind.
So with Botox and lip fillers and all that, with cosmetics, we're talking about somebody's visage, like the face. There's risk attached to that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
There's absolutely risk attached to it, and that's why it's important to go to somebody, hopefully a physician, who can handle those risks. There are complications that can come up with fillers. You can get occlusion of an artery,
and just start leaning like that.
Well, not that can happen too. But if that happens, then you can lose your vision. You can it can be really bad, and you want to be seeing someone who can handle that complication. So if something happens, you can take care of it immediately and prevent that from happening. Some places cannot do this.
As a practitioner though, and as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, do you worry about it, and what are you doing to like in case somebody, like for example, sues you?
Well, I have medical malpractice that comes with the plan, with the being a doctor and everything. But I think that taking care of people and treating them like people prevents you from getting into that area of people wanting to sue you, because if you've established a relationship with somebody and they trust you, and a mistake happens and you own up to it, the chances of you getting sued are way less than if you're really cocky and you're not treating them as a person.
You just want the money.
Exactly. So even though this is a business and it's about money, if it's more important to understand that you're dealing with people, and treating people well is the most important thing. The money comes after that. That's how I see
I want to
it.
talk to Dr. Degha Fongod, the person. You got this great business going as an entrepreneur, and as somebody listening and looking at you right now, impressed in all that you're doing. What are your challenges? What are your fears?
So, I have a lot of challenges. So people, it seems really glamorous, but one of the things that I have had to struggle with before, when I came here last year, I worked on my own, and now I have employees. So as a business owner, I have to worry about making sure that not only the business can survive, but the employees are taken care of. They have families as well. So you're not just thinking about yourself anymore. You're helping other people too. And it can be really nerve-wracking, because as a business, sometimes you have ups and downs in business.
That's
right. If you're in a low point, you're like super duper stressed, and you're worried, how am I going to take care of my employees? So that has been a big challenge. And also just juggling the different roles. I'm a business owner. I'm a doctor. I do marketing. I'm a mom, doing so many different things. So being able to handle all of that has been very challenging.
Why do you do what you do? What's your why?
That's a little bit of a very, very complicated and big question. But the most important thing for me is I feel like from the get-go, I always want to serve people. And serving people makes me happy. If I can make you happy, I in turn get happy. So, that's just what drives me. Like, I want to feel like I'm contributing to society one person at a time.
Yeah.
And doing that makes me happy. Obviously, my daughter, my family, and all of that, being able to provide for them pushes me. But I also want to teach them that providing for people and is really, really rewarding, and can never be a wrong thing to do.
And as a black woman, from Africa, you can kill it in Virginia State. Own a healthy business, multiple businesses, and be great at it. And if somebody visits your social media or your website, they're gonna see this. You are focused on helping professionals achieve self-care and healthcare. And I want to hone in on that word, professionals. You know what I mean? Like, why did you choose that word, professionals?
You know what? Because I'm a professional, and I know I really thought about myself in this situation and how I put everybody ahead of myself. As a busy doctor, even within my spa, it's so difficult for me, for example, to take an hour and get a facial. My staff has to literally force me. So I can just imagine a mom who's a professional, who has this, high power job. They're working really hard. They have so many hats that they have on, and they always seem to put themselves last. And I can relate to that.
Thanks.
So I want to target those people, because that's someone I can talk to really easily. And I have dentists, I have executives, I have lawyers, I have so many different professionals that come to me, and it's really easy to talk to them and to help them, because we all understand that we're juggling this professional life, and also trying to figure out how to be good moms and good people in society.
I'm curious, what's a Neura partner? I think I saw that. Neura. Yeah.
I don't do that anymore. So Neura was a skincare line that I was working with, but I actually ended up I stopped working with them because, I wanted something broader. I wanted something more medical. So I have other medical skincare lines that I like more. So I should update my profile.
Your stuff.
Yes, I need to update.
You're busy. You're doing great things.
Yes.
What do you eat? That's like a left field question right there.
Yeah, that threw me off. I barely eat. That's the
I'm
truth.
talking about, like, you know, some get that glowing skin. You know, you look good and like with cosmetics and stuff like that. Like, what do you?
Well, I'll tell you what you're supposed to consume, and I'll tell you, I'll own up to the fact that I don't eat as much as I should, just because, again, I'm busy and I don't tend to eat as often as I would like to eat, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. So something that I talk to my patients about, something I'm really passionate about, is intermittent fasting. And if you go for periods of time without eating, what happens with the body is that the body takes that time, instead of digesting food, it tries to repair other things in your body. And one of them tends to be your skin. So I find that a lot of my patients who come in and, you know, we talk about fasting, they notice that the more they fast, the clearer their skin's becoming, because their stomach, you know, it takes a lot of energy for your stomach to break down food. So if it's focusing on other things, then your hair starts growing better, your nails grow better, and your skin looks better. So that's one thing. So not eating isn't necessarily a bad thing. But typically the most important thing, hydration. We are made up of about 70% water, and your skin, which is the largest organ in your body, tends to get everything last. So you want to hydrate, you want to eat fruits and vegetables. So you find that people who are vegan, who are very heavy in vegetables and fruits, they tend to have very, very beautiful, vibrant skin. And that's because the vegetables and the fruit is high in a lot of nutrients that help the skin heal and just basically glow.
And this is what, you know, this is some of the conversation that you have with people who come for consultations, your patients, and things like that.
Exactly. So if I'm talking to someone, for example, who smokes, you know, I will, you know, there's just so many bad things that happen to your skin because of your smoking habit. For one, you don't heal very well. So procedures on patients who smoke is a little bit different. I have to, you know, be a little bit more cautious with them. Or if you don't wear sunscreen, for example, you know, that can lead to premature aging, things like that. So we have that conversation when we're having a consultation before we do procedures.
I want to ask you this question. In your view, why is it that majority, as far as what I see, of folks who are not concerned, but come in for, you know, cosmetics and, you know, and facial, not reconstruction, are mainly white, and you don't see too many blacks or Africans for that matter?
That's a loaded question. In my experience, I think that historically Caucasians have really focused more on their skin. I mean, if you look at the media, right, the Caucasians are the main people in the media. So, and you know, in terms of like aging, every race ages differently, and Caucasians, and this is a broad, you know, this doesn't apply to everybody, but broadly, they tend to age a little bit faster than us, for example, as people of African descent. So for them, you know, if you're trying to prevent aging, then there's going to be that population is going to be more concerned about aging compared to African American folks who don't have that, they don't age as fast, right? So I think that's one of it. And also the other thing is just the socioeconomics of the situation. So if you have more money to spend, then you're going to want to take care of your skin, right? As opposed to somebody who may not have as much. And, you know, if you're looking at all the different things that you have to do, well, your skincare might just take a back burner. So that has something to do with it as well.
How old is your daughter now?
She's 16 months.
Oh, dang.
Yes.
Time flies.
She was
so
does.
Cute when you came by last time.
She's so cute, but we call her Tornado because she
tears up the whole spot.
She does.
What's your husband into?
Right now he's still doing the same thing. He's doing website design, and that's his main focus. He also helps out with the business, so some of the financial stuff I can't do it all on my own, right? So some of the finances and things like that, he does help with management. Is Africa or Cameroon in particular, because you're from Cameroon? When's the last time you've been back in Cameroon? So I haven't been since 2017. Is Africa at all, you know, in line in your side as far as like you building businesses and how you view cosmetics and spa and skincare and things like that? Where do you see it right now? I think that there's a huge market in Africa for this, and hopefully in the future I would love to expand to many African countries, Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana, because, you know, most of them come over to the West for these procedures. So if they have access to it there, then absolutely. a lot of things. So if we're speaking about Africans in general, so for example, hair removal, this is a huge problem because, you know, when we shave, we get bumps or ingrowns, and then that leads to hyperpigmentation, and then obviously hyperpigmentation means your skin is not even, and then unfortunately some people go to dangerous lengths to even their skin tone with bleaching and things like that. But if you go on a more medical route and you prevent the thing that's causing that, then you're going to have more people with much better skin and less bumps, and, you know, so there's a lot of applications. And we're also right in, you know, there's a lot of sunlight in that area, so we tend to get a lot of sun damage that we don't realize we get. So there's just a lot of applications that we have.
Man, it's, you know your stuff. You know, before we started, she was like, I'm more prepared last time than I was this time. Listen, Dr. Degha Fongod, you are great at what you do. Excited that you one of the few people who is like, we always tell our guests, come back and update us on what you got going on. And you're one of the few who have actually been like, yo, I got this going on, let me come back. I've been, you know, saying, so blessed to find out that, you know, you are pivoted and you're doing great. Not only pivoted, but, you know, you're merging your two great practices, and it's just exciting to see.
Thank you.
Where is it located, and what is it called? How can people get in contact?
So it's called Loudoun Laser and Medical Spa. It's in Ashburn, Virginia, on Route 7, and just Google us, and it's really easy to find. On social media, our handle is LL Med Spa for Instagram, and Facebook it's Loudoun Laser and Medical Spa.
Listen, we have had the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Degha Fongod. She is great physician. Delight Primary Care, Loudoun Laser Medical Spa out in Fairfax, Virginia. If you are there, hit her up. If you need referrals, just want to consult, hit the website up, hit her Instagram, and get in contact, man. This great stuff.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Hey, pleasure. If you enjoy what you listen to, if you enjoy what you watch on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you were listening on all audio streamers, your favorite podcast right now, shout out to you. Do a screenshot, send links to your group chat so we can grow. I am Reflex, your host. Want to remind you again, this podcast has been sponsored by Perfect Office Solution. They provide office space for entrepreneurs in the DMV area in over 7 locations. Hit them up, let them know we sent you. Promo code is SITM podcast, and you get 10% off. Again, dope private office space. SITM podcast on all social media platforms. Shout out to AK, shout out to Alex, shout out to Ma. I hate y'all. This is Stuck Video Podcast, and I'm out.